Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, and prepare. This is a new season coming right up. We are starting it with a relaxing and unwinding episode. Get ready for a mind-bending journey through the realm of deep thoughts. In this thrilling episode, we embarked on an adventure like no other, diving headfirst into the secrets of meaningful relationships and uncovering the hidden treasures of connections. We talked about many things, including how each of us deals with silence, the harmful effects of a bad sleep schedule, meeting students in college, holding grudges, choosing friends, whether or not multitasking is possible, going back to reading, and many more. This episode was a roller coaster of emotions, my friends, a daring escapade into the personal realm, where insights flowed like a mighty river. So grab your popcorn, fasten your seatbelts, and join us on this chilly episode. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and guess what? We're even on YouTube now at The Castronics. Relax and enjoy.
You are now listening to the Castronics podcast.
Hosted by MBS, Mariam and Hajar.
Weekly episodes are coming up, so stay tuned.
Dude, I did my first LinkedIn post. Oh my god, I saw it. I'm so happy for myself. But yeah, so like, it's not, I don't know if it's a trauma. Anyways, I'm very talkative. I've always been talkative. It's the one time, so like during like, it's either lunch or dinner, I'm not sure. So we always talk about our days. So I always have something to say. And then everyone else doesn't have time to say anything. So one time, my dad was like, okay, Mariam, you have 300 words per sitting. I was like, what does that mean? And I think that's when I started to like speak less. But now, it's fine.
I mean, talking too much isn't that bad. It really depends on what you say exactly.
I like talk a lot.
I used to talk a lot. And then when I keep telling my mom my stories, and she was like, summary, please. And then I was like, you know what?
Yeah, so my sister Karen has the same problem, whereby she would, even when we call, she would give unnecessary details. I know she's listening to this. So she would give unnecessary details, but then that's because she wants to feel like she's being listened to, you know.
At least you understand that, not like other people who are like, you're giving out very unnecessary details.
Yeah.
The thing is, I get it because I get the talkative people because you have so much to say, you have so many details, and then when you're speaking about something and then something else pops up, and then to understand one thing, you have to understand the background of another thing. So you keep going into loops, and then you forget where you are, and then you remember, and then people are like, wait, hold on.
No, here's the thing. It's because you think that people do not understand what you're about to say.
Because
whereby
they
could literally do without the details, those extra details.
We want to share the extra details.
Yeah, but we want to share. I feel like
you want to make them feel like they were at the...
I feel like there is something between guys and girls. Girls explain way more detailed, whereas guys keep it at short. Like,
very short.
Oh, I did this, and that. They don't even say I did this and that.
Because that's all you need to know, I guess.
I don't know. But like, we girls give so much details. Like, it's like you're just living the day as we are. Yeah. We're living it, you know.
That is the big difference.
Awkward. Silent.
It's not awkward.
It's not awkward.
It's awkward for me. I don't like silence.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I don't like silence.
I don't know why. It's
actually
like really peaceful.
Like, you know, the blanks?
I don't like it.
I learned how to be comfortable with them, depending on my relationship with the person I'm talking to. If we're kind of close, I don't mind. We can stay together for like 2 hours without saying a word, because you don't need to fill the gap. If it's a stranger and you guys, let's say you set up a meeting, and so if you set up a meeting, that means there is a reason to that. You need to talk about something. So whenever you have those blank gaps, it feels very awkward.
Yeah.
But the other day, for example, I was going out with my brother, and there were times when we'd just stay together for like 30 minutes, just roam around without saying a word. And it's totally fine. See with your family, if you ever feel awkward when there's silence, do you?
No, I don't.
Never, right?
Because we're always like in silent mode.
Because you don't need to prove anything. You don't need to show yourself. You don't need to... There's nothing you need to show them anymore. Exactly. That's the level that you get with them. And when you get to that level with other people, that's great.
You know, the thing is, I feel like you always have something to say. That's why you feel like it's awkward whenever there's silent mode.
How about
I'm
this?
not attacking you.
But how about this? How about this? How about you always have something to say, and the person who's listening is always down to listen.
I don't
That
know.
would be a good match.
You're a talker.
but then
As in,
I'd feel,
and they're a listener.
They're a listener, yes.
no, but then I'd feel like I'm always talking and they're not talking, so I'd feel bad, and then I feel like I'm very talkative. And
What about if there is a complete understanding between you guys, as in, it's fine. I always speak, you always listen, and we're fine with that.
But I feel like, most of the time, you're still gonna feel bad because you're talking a lot, and then the other person is just listening. Like,
it's like, don't you have anything?
do you have
to
a
say?
chance to say anything?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I do feel like that.
Does it ever happen to you when you guys feel like you're giving way too many details?
Yes, all the
It
time.
depends on the person.
All the time.
Yeah.
Because there are types of people where I don't feel like, oh, I gave this away, but it's okay, because I'm comfortable around this person. But then there are other people I was like, oh shit, why did I do that?
I'm always like,
They were not
whatever.
supposed to know.
No, it's not that. It's like, at first I think that, but then I'm like, okay, this was meant to be. It's fine. Whatever.
So something that I recently started thinking about is that when people share things out of nowhere, it was meant to be said, just like she said. Like, you wanted to share it. If you don't have to think about it, you wanted to share it. But then if you share it and then you're like, oh, why did I do that?
Yeah, it's meant to be.
It was meant to be. Like, you wanted to share it,
You think it's an underlying need, I guess?
Yeah, kind of.
So maybe it's something that you wanted to share ever since
Yeah.
God knows how long.
It's been stuck
And-
with you.
Yeah, and then you
like,
just wanted to give it away.
Exactly.
The occasion was just there.
All of a sudden, you share it. It was meant to be shared.
But then what I was saying, when you don't feel awkward when it comes to, that gap when you talk to people, that's actually how you know if your relationship with someone is very good or not.
Yeah. That's true. Like, when you know that the silence is not awkward, that's how you know you're actually comfortable with the person.
Exactly. That's a very good indication.
Exactly.
Am I not comfortable with anyone?
But the thing is, I'm comfortable with silence, like, all the time. So that's not an indication for me. The indication is when I talk a lot. So when I talk a lot, that means I'm comfortable with the person. So it depends on the person.
It's the opposite. Yeah. What's your sign of being comfortable with people, Mariam?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Like, how do you know? Like, is there any sign when you talk to someone or when you stay with someone? Is there anything that shows you that you're being comfortable with them?
When I don't feel fake.
What do you mean? Don't you feel?
Sometimes I feel fake. Sometimes I'm
elaborate
like
more, because you said that before, and I still don't understand what you mean.
Sometimes
when you
I
say
feel like, yeah, I'm enthusiastic, but I'm not really enthusiastic. I'm just doing it because they're in front of me. No, it's like Mariam. Mariam, the energetic Mariam. Sometimes I'm like, most of the time I'm like that, and that's when I feel fake because I don't feel like that. But then, yeah.
But then, why do you force yourself to be so energetic?
Because nobody needs to know what I'm going through. It's not their business.
I can actually relate to
But
what she
then when
says.
I start like feeling like I'm not being fake, then I'm comfortable with people. Like right now, I'm down and it's fine.
Yeah,
And
I feel that.
Yeah.
I don't have the hype that I usually have with people, and I'm totally fine with it. It's totally okay. That's why, by the way, this episode is. the volume of our voices is way lower than before. Because we're very, very down, I guess.
Yeah.
You can say that, yeah.
I woke up very chill today, for some
I
reason.
woke up at 7. I'm so proud. I slept at 1. I'm very proud of that. I woke up at 7 and then I slept again and woke up at 7:30. Then convinced myself to get off bed. Then I went to class. That's fine.
I was checking out yesterday. Apple. So since you're wearing an Apple Watch, you can actually check your sleeping pattern.
Oh yeah, I'm aware
And
of that.
I was amazed by how accurate it was. So turns out most of the days I usually sleep at 4 a.m., 3:30, 4. That's when I get into sleep. Because I think there was actually a remark. So a few people told me this. They were like, why do you always reply at 3 a.m.? And then I was like, it's because that's when I'm done with my work. And throughout the day, I pretty much don't get into social media. Or if I do, very little, just to post something maybe. And so 3 a.m. is when I actually sit down, take my phone, and reply to all the messages. And then after that, I go to sleep. And then turns out my average sleeping time per day is 3 hours and a half.
How are you
Which
alive?
is very bad.
How are you
No,
alive?
but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate though, because I wake up for Fajr,
Okay.
and then after Fajr I go back to bed. That does not mean that I'm sleeping though. I can stay awake until 9, 10 if I don't have classes. And maybe until then, I'll sleep until 12 and then stay on the bed again.
Does that affect your health somehow?
Does that affect my health? In what way?
Like, do you have headaches? Do you have
Not at all. Not at all.
trouble eating?
Nothing.
Low energy?
No.
Uh,
I'm good. Maybe it's because I balance it out.
with what?
So I sleep in the morning, and then in the afternoon I work, and at night, so like after Isha, I go do some sport. I go to the gym or play
the
futsal.
sports balance.
yeah,
Yeah.
sports does balance.
And then I go back from sports, and then I work again until 3 a.m. And then there you go again. But that's a very bad cycle. I know that it's gonna fire back on myself
Yes.
later.
Long term.
I don't know when, but at some point, if I keep doing this, it's gonna go bad.
Yeah, you need sleep.
You need sleep, bro.
I should.
Sad.
So yeah, going back to relationships, we're gonna talk about how to build a meaningful relationship with the people around you. As Hajar mentioned, you have different strengths to this, so we could talk about relationships with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues, or fellow students here in university.
I don't work, so I don't have colleagues.
Well, your colleagues right now are your
Really?
students, your
My
classmates.
relationship with them is not great. In my
With
opinion.
most of them, what's your ideal relationship with your fellow students?
I don't know, talking with them, studying with them, what everyone does. But I don't. So maybe from my perspective it's bad, but maybe from their perspective it's not bad. I don't know. I feel like I detached myself from my batch, if I can say so.
You don't relate much to them?
I don't mingle with them.
Is it during studies or outside of classes?
In all of it.
Or both.
Both.
Because for me, I feel like I'm outside of my batch sometimes. The people in my class, I have a very good relationship with a lot of them, but I don't think that it gets very personal at times, though I want it to be personal.
Same.
And then I realized something, your time is limited. And I would love to give my time to everybody that I meet. But that's just not possible. It's not possible at all. Yeah. So just like Maryam was saying, she does not relate much to her batch because... Is it because you don't have a personal relationship with them?
Yes.
And how would you know if you would have a personal relationship with them? Like
Talk every day, ask about stuff,
Thing is, because you're social, you would relate to this type of thing, but then if there's no emotional connection with other people, you will never have a long relationship. Are you aware of that?
No.
Exactly.
I don't know the science behind what I do. I just do what I do and
That's why you're social.
stuff happens.
That's why you're social.
It's sad.
It's not sad. It's actually a really good thing.
No, like I'm close with seniors, juniors, everyone, first years, freshmen, everything. And then when it comes to my batch, I'm very scared. It's very
Scared of
scary.
what?
I don't know.
Yeah, why are you
I don't
scared?
think they like me, but then like the opposite happens during classes. So I'm like, wait, you guys know me? I'm like, oh,
of course.
it's so weird. I don't know, online was horrible.
Actually, online messed up a lot of my, I wouldn't say relationships, but it messed up the way I would have loved to socialize here in uni.
Yeah.
As in, so during my first semester, I was still a new student, so I did not try to know as many people as I would have tried to. And second semester, COVID hit. So people were not meant to socialize at all. And then that stayed kind of lasted for about 2 years and something.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I came back, a lot of the people I know or the people of my batch were not back yet. So we spent another semester without knowing them. Yeah. And it's only the last semester that I started to meet people. And a lot of them, I would get the same remark, how come did I not meet you before? Like, where were you hiding? And then when you narrate back the story or whatever happens, COVID and all of that, that's when you realize, oh yeah, things were not meant to be the way.
At that time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
it kind of makes sense.
It does make sense. But you know what's funny? When I first met Mariam, she's like, how come I've never known you? You've been here for a whole year.
When did you meet her?
I'm still angry about
In
that,
my second year semester. Like,
Still
literally
angry.
last semester.
Last
angry.
semester?
Yeah.
That's the
still
very first time you met Maria.
Yes.
Angry about that,
Last semester, at the start of the semester, I traveled to Kuwait, and then when I came back, it was already my first semester, but I lived in KL. So my semester that I had online was with my old friends that was in KL that I knew from foundation. So when I came here, half of the second semester, because they said it was going to be physical.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
It was for me.
We were the only faculty
Well,
that was
it was online for me most of the
brought
time.
back. Electrical faculty was the only one that was brought back.
No, and chemical.
And chemical, yeah. Mechanical had a TV.
Everyone from mechanical was here, and I still don't know why.
My cousin was in mechanical. He came back as well.
Yeah,
I
and
was
I
like,
still don't know why.
Why would you do that?
Everyone was
you could have
online.
stayed back at home.
I know.
People don't realize the ni'mah that they have. Whatever, grateful people.
Continue.
I wanted to stay here. Anyways, basically, when I came back, I didn't know anyone. So for me, it's hard to strike up a conversation with anyone and be like, hi, how are you? Are you Egyptian? Like, it's weird, okay? So for
Not me doing that to everybody.
Yeah, because you're a social person.
No.
Let me repeat that, okay?
Continue. Literally what I said to like a girl that turned out not to be Arab anyways.
Well, that's how you start a
I was like, are
conversation.
you Arab?
anyways.
I've seen you a lot and I thought you were Arab. She was like, no, I'm not. And I was like, okay, bye.
I avoid asking nationalities when I meet someone.
I avoid judging people before I ask them anything.
What do you mean by judging?
Because, like, sometimes I judge. I'm like, I'm not the type to judge.
Because look, people use judging so loosely that it actually lost its meaning. So what do you mean when you say that someone is judging you? Or when you're judging someone?
When I'm judging someone, it means like I'm like looking through them and like I'm trying to analyze, every single thing that they're doing.
That's not judging, that's trying to know them.
That's trying to know them, but
Judging is more assuming that they are something. Or that they can't do something. Something that aspect.
judging,
That's when you know you're
is it more
judging.
based on like looks or like the ability?
It's based on characteristics.
Uh-huh.
As in, so let's say that I see someone not studying. So I assume that he's a very bad student and
Oh yeah.
like he doesn't care. And that's kind of judging.
I kind of do that sometimes. But
I judge
like,
and then I ask to confirm my judgment. Or to not mostly, which mostly happens to like stop my judgment.
But then it's not wrong to judge.
Yeah, it's
not wrong to judge because
what I learned is
that's how you make up your plans and that's how you navigate around you because you need to set things straight.
that's what I started learning. Everyone judges, but it's what you do with your judging that
defines
Oh, yeah.
yes,
whether
that
or not.
defines you
Yeah, true.
in general.
I actually stopped acting based on my judgment.
Why not?
Because one time I was in the airport, okay, and then like the belt, the conveyor belt that for the bags and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was a funny looking bag. Okay. And I was like, who would have this funny bag? And I said that out loud. And in
my
Arabic.
God. I know
And
where
the
is this
person
going.
next to me just pulls the bag, looks me up and down.
Oh my lord.
And I was like, oh shit. I'm never doing that again.
Well,
I'm gonna judge silently
next time,
from now on.
Next time, just judge silently.
Exactly.
Keep it in your head.
And I'm never gonna act upon it.
Most importantly.
Also goes back to expectations. You have expectations.
Do you expect a lot from other people?
And myself.
I stopped doing that because everyone is disappointing me recently.
No, I always do expect.
Does everyone disappoint you recently, or is it you?
No, it's not recently.
Or is it you that just have a too high of an expectation
No.
of people?
Bro, I've been having like very low expectation of everyone since school. Okay, and every single time people disappoint
And
you.
they still disappoint you?
Yeah, so at this point I was like, you know
Just know
what?
different people.
You know what? I'm just not gonna have expectations of anyone and let them do whatever they want because that's easier to live with. And just, yeah, like, you know, you're not gonna get offended easily. You're not gonna, like, you know, like,
You were not even expecting anything from
yeah,
them.
I wasn't even expecting anything, you know. So I stopped I stopped expecting from other people.
I don't know if that's possible for me.
It is possible.
I don't think it's possible.
You just haven't tried. It's very peaceful and you feel the freedom.
You know how to do it. Why is this sad? I don't like this episode. It's very sad.
It's on a very chill vibe. And I like this. I actually like this.
It's not sad, it's more vulnerable. That's why I don't like it.
So yeah, back to relationships. There's this thing that I wanted to mention. How do you choose your friends? I feel like I might hurt people with what I'm about to say, but it's very important to know how to choose your friends, especially when you go to environments such as university.
Especially when you're living abroad.
I
Exactly.
don't think you get to choose your friends.
See,
You
there's
do get to choose your friends.
It's risk.
there.
No,
No.
no,
You still get to filter out who comes in your life and who.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, it's
Yeah, you can
it's
filter, but
risk.
you can't choose.
Woman, listen. It is risk when, like, you know, you meet someone and you have a good connections, but you get to choose whether you want to keep it or not. You still get to choose. You still have the choice.
There is one hadith that always comes to my mind when the Prophet ﷺ says, "المرء على دين خليله فلينظر أحدكم من يخالل." So like one of you is on the way or on the path of whomever he becomes or he stays in the company of. So one should be very careful with the people whom he goes along with.
It's very true.
And yeah, I've actually seen that because I've met great people during my first time. And fast forward 3 years, you hear that they've been taken out by police and stuff like that.
What the?
Like things that you would never imagine coming from them. But then when you look at their circle, it makes complete sense. Why would you get accompanied by such people?
You know, I was watching a TED Talk recently. Not recently, I'm lying. Okay. That was like, I don't know, 2-3 months ago. And then the woman was like, you are an average of like 3 to 4 to 5 people that you're
Yeah, there's actually a proverb, or I don't know who said that exactly, but it says something along the lines of, tell me who are the five closest people to you,
and I'll
and
tell you who you are.
Yeah.
I
And
heard
that
about
actually makes so much sense.
I know, right?
How about you, Mariam? You're very quiet.
I'm thinking of all the things that happened. But yeah, it's true. Okay, I agree. You get to choose. You meet the people, so that's it is. And then you choose the people. That's the
Yeah, you choose the people
choice.
that get.
And if it's very
Keep
hard.
around.
Sometimes in circumstances you have to like then you don't do stuff, but like you befriend people that are not the same
Vibe.
not vibe, but
They are
like,
not on the same line of thinking.
kind of. And then you get so close to them, and then you realize, oh, I'm becoming them. So then you're like, oh, thank God, we need to stop this. Then something happens and it stops, and you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. But then you think, then you meet, fast forward a couple of years, then you meet these people again, they're like, and then they changed.
I saw that.
And then become better.
I've seen that with people here.
Did I judge too quickly? Am I the bad person?
I met someone like that. So like back in first sem, this guy was a typical person that my parents would tell me to stay away of. So for instance, it's like smoking and going out and drinking, like the typical bad person. And I met him after COVID.
Total complete
And
person, different.
subhanallah, this guy became a mutawwa'. I'm not even joking. Like he's always the first one at the masjid, and I was just so in awe.
Subhanallah.
You know those subhanallah moments?
Yes,
I had that. Subhanallah li hadak, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, so happy to see that, and makes you feel good. And then that's when I started a relationship with him because he became much better. But I don't think that would have ever happened if I just took him off my grid, as in if I stopped noticing him. Because yes, you meet bad people, but then give them a chance. I'm not saying that you should be their best friends or you know, be their ride or die, as they say, but you try from your own side to, obviously you can't fix people, but make some effort to try to make them a better people.
Yeah. You know, I kind of have a question. Like,
Go ahead.
do you cut off people easily?
I don't usually cut off anyone, and I can't recall people that I cut off. Because cutting off is just way too extreme. We as human beings are very social creatures. So when I know that someone is not compatible with me, I decrease the number of interactions that I have with them, or I cut them short.
Oh. Okay.
So instead of having an hour discussion as I used to have, I would meet them and just say, "Hi, how are you?" And 5 minutes late, 5 minutes into the discussion, we're done. You know, that's it. Cut it short.
Okay. That's actually interesting because you look like, you know, you would cut off people easily.
Me?
Yeah.
What gives you that vibe? Like,
I don't know, you give off like bold vibes, you know? Like, oh, if you're not, you know, like I feel like you have high standards too. So like if
I do have the high standards, but that does not mean that I cut off people.
Well, I assume that, honestly.
Okay.
So now I know.
Yeah, there you go.
What about you, Mariam?
I don't cut off people easily, but if
If you had to.
you go to the other side in Mariam's block list, you go and you never come back, even when Mariam seems like she's okay with you. It's never the same ever again.
So
Like,
once
you cross that line, you can't go back, and it's like I try, but I can't because I hold grudges.
oh yeah, I know all about that.
Yeah, so I can't. I don't forget, and I never forget. And then when I try to like go back to like having the same like relationship, then I'm like, oh,
She did
remember
that.
when they did that? So I'm like, oh. Then we go back and take a couple of 10 steps away from them again. So yeah.
I mean, look, you can forgive, but don't forget.
I don't forgive.
You don't have to forget.
I don't.
But
forgive.
you could try to forgive.
It's hard to forgive.
I'm not saying this as if I always do that, but I try my best to forgive, so that I feel good. I don't forgive them because they are them. I forgive them because I would like to be forgiven if I ever do something wrong.
Yeah.
But then that's where it says, you know, my relationship with someone where there has been some clashes, it would not be the same. But no, you know, we're good. We're cool. That's how I would say it.
Nope.
You can't relate?
Cannot relate at all. I try to forgive. I try to convince myself to forgive, but I don't know how to forgive. You know what I mean? So I'll eventually learn. But for right now, I have a list of people I hate, and a list of like things I hate, and a couple of like people I hate. Like it's a group of people Let's just say that.
Oh, well.
Send help. Send help.
Yeah, so that's it. So like, until then, until I learn to forgive, everyone's in the block list. Yeah.
That's interesting to know. Thank you.
It's because you can't go there easily. So if you can't go there easily, you can't leave easily, or you can't leave at all.
But I have a question. Why do you hold it so personally? Like, why can't you, like, just let go of it? Because it brings you peace, knowing that you can let go of it.
Because at the end, you're hurting your own self.
Yeah.
That person probably forgot about you.
I know. I can't. I don't forget.
But then I have another question. Does thinking, like, you're going to get revenge help you? Is going to ever help you?
I'm not going to get revenge.
Okay, then
Because
why?
I'm not a confrontational person. Maybe if I do get, not revenge, but like if I do like confront, it will make it better. It will like stop this. But because I don't confront, I'm going to have to like hold the bag of people I hate on my back.
Keep it to yourself. But then...
Doesn't it get too heavy?
Yeah, it does. Consequences of not communicating.
I like how self-aware you are, but then...
I do the complete opposite. I'm aware of it, but I don't do anything about it. But yeah, it is what it is, I know the consequences of what I'm doing, and I'm trying, like I'm still yet to learn how to... I'm figuring stuff out because I'm growing, I'm growing up.
Yeah.
So yeah, for now, I have a list, and I know what I need to do. I just don't know the how.
Well, I hope you know the how one day. Yeah, I hope you heal from it.
I'll probably know the how and what and where.
One day,
But till now, we're in the buffer. It's in the loading stage.
Did you know where my mind went?
Buffer? YouTube?
No.
What?
Do you know the logic
Circuits? Circuits. Oh, that's sad.
Oh my lord. I was trying to take a break from studies.
Engineering student.
And you brought it
Electrical
back.
trauma.
I'm sorry.
Electrical trauma. This is sad.
I'm an electrical by nature now, so...
So now, we've spoken about relationships with students, with personal relationships, I guess, with your friends. But then how do you define a good relationship when it comes to your professional life? Or have you ever have you dealt with any professional kind of relationship?
I'm a student.
The only professional I had to deal with is between me and my teacher or my lecturer.
Yeah, I'm a student. I don't do that.
I'm a student.
I've
Then
never
I'll
had this
speak since
experience.
I've been...
Yeah, you're the old one.
In the I wouldn't say that. But then I'll speak since I've been in the workspace. So one thing that I learned, especially during my internship, is to network. And the power of networking is crazy. I got to meet loads of interesting people. And the thing is, people don't value much the fact that they work in a space. When you prove yourself and you meet great people, they can be an asset later in your future life. My dad usually tells me this. He tells me in business, it's 30% your skills and 70% about the people you know.
Networking, yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Like, let's say that I want to set up a business about this and that. If I know the exact people that I need to go to, and have a good relationship with them,
Boom,
I'm telling you, the next day my business is up.
Exactly. That's why celebrities are successful in their businesses.
Because they know a lot of people.
They know a lot of people.
But not only celebrities.
Not only celebrities, business.
A lot of the
CEOs.
things, a lot of the people who do have the power and are the keys to a lot of the things are not even known. It's like some manager in some area, in some business or in some company, and then you go to them, they open the doors for you. They don't have to be celebrities, but I know the example.
Yeah.
I understand the example that you gave.
That's interesting. Something that I know about workspace is that to never mix your personal life and your business life. That's what I know. That's the only thing I know.
That's okay. Is that doable? Yes. Is that doable for everyone? No.
What do you mean doable?
Can you separate your work life and your personal life? Yes, you can, if you're a normal employee. However, let's say that you get to the level of a big manager or an owner of a business, a businessman. Yeah, your life is your work, literally. And like everything goes in together because you're giving off yourself.
I don't believe in separation.
In what?
Separation, like separating stuff from stuff.
No, but
Why not? But you need to.
But you have to. Yeah, exactly. You have to.
Yeah, to some degree, but like they never really like it's never really separated. You know what I mean?
How are you gonna separate your, when you, inshallah, when you get married and when you have kids? Okay, how are you gonna separate like your kids and like you bringing them up with your work life if you're gonna work?
Yeah, that's why it can't be separated, because you can't balance if you're separate, but you can balance if they're together.
You can balance if you separate them.
I don't know where you guys are going with this, but what I know is you can probably make time for each. So a separate time for every task that you do, that would be a better option. But then, can you separate? That really goes back to yourself.
I go with the flow.
I mean, something that I know you can never multitask between both. That's a thing, but you can always, separate.
Multitasking is hard. We always believe that we can multitask until you realize how stronger you get when you only focus on one thing at a time. I have a very bad habit, or you tell me if it's bad or not, but when I study, I love to listen to people speak, so podcasts and all that.
How do you focus when you're listening to other people?
That's the thing. It really depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing something related to my routine, so let's say I used to, so this is another habit that I have, but in the same kind of area. When I make reports, when I used to have lab, for example, when I used to write reports, I would do it while watching videos, actually.
Okay, but that you don't need to focus much on it.
But then when I'm studying and then I'm listening to podcasts at the same time.
How?
I realized that very recently when I listen to a podcast while studying at the same time, I can take, let's say, 4 hours for the same amount. And let's say I take the same slides. Without listening to the podcast, I can finish it within 2 hours. Like, that's half of the time. Because obviously your brain can't focus on two things at the same time. Yeah, exactly. When you're listening to the sentence that the guy is saying, you're not paying attention to what you're reading.
Exactly.
And when you're reading, you're missing out on the things he says. So you're trying to jump on both, but that's not very possible.
I usually listen to podcasts when I have a notebook because I usually jot down, the important stuff. Just like how I read a book. I usually highlight the things that are important and that's are meaningful to me. So yeah, you can never multitask.
I have a question, because I see people do that, but I never do it. When you read a book and you highlight the important sentences, as you say, do you go back on them before?
Yeah, I do.
Do you go back on them after?
Sometimes, yes. When I'm when I'm looking at my bookshelf and I was like, oh, I haven't read this book in a long time.
What do you do?
I just pull it out, okay, and then I'm like, oh, why is there so many, sticky notes and tags and all that? And then I go through them and I was like, I remember this. It takes you down memory lane. It's really funny.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
I should read more.
I should read more.
Oh my god.
It's really fun. You should start it one
I don't
day.
know why I don't read. I like collecting books. I like knowing about books. I found out I like listening to people talk about the books. But I don't like it's not that I don't like reading. I think I'm avoiding reading.
I'm so digitalized that I love downloading PDFs.
Stay away from me.
iPad kid, I'm telling you, he's an iPad kid.
I love it when I have a folder called books, and then I literally have hundreds of books. And I love when I see the PDF and I can open it in any device that I want. For me, that's, when you see your library and you love that, and you just become like a kid in front of toys, I become like a kid when I see those PDFs.
PDFs. Wow.
What?
Digitalization
Nah, bro.
gone too far.
Nah.
I don't know. I like reading. I think my reading is more like science and stuff. Like, I like... When I used to read, it would be these books.
You know that's still considered as reading.
Yeah, but I don't do it now. But like learning about so my roommate likes to read. 'Cause she's in architecture, so she reads about architecture books. I like when she like talks about the book. I don't read the book, but I'm getting the info she got.
Oh yeah, I actually follow a channel on YouTube that does the same thing. I don't know if you know Dopamine Caffeine. So it's presented by a guy named Nasser Agil. Basically, what he does is he reads books and he explains them in entire series. So a single video can last up to 30 minutes, but he gives you the gist of it. And I just love it when he explains it.
I think it's just
because then I don't have to. It's even better than audiobooks, because audiobooks, the guy literally reads what's written, and you don't want to do that yourself.
But the thing is, it's a different experience when you read the book.
I know. When I used to read, I used to like get so inside the book, that I don't hear anything around me. And I think I'm too scared to do that now.
Why?
I don't know.
It's really cool.
I know. It just your ears get blocked, and then I'm inside, I'm with them, I'm not there. It's basically how I watch TV shows. Okay, when I watch like TV shows, I'm with them.
Yeah.
I'm not here anymore.
It's like you're living with them.
I start speaking with their like words and using the vocabulary. I start thinking the way they think, because I usually like detective stuff. Like it's either like medical or detectives or lawyers. Something, they're solving something. So my brain's like with them. So usually my personality is basically them till I finish, and I never finish. Like I never watch the ending.
Sherlock Holmes.
I finished it. It was amazing. Anyways.
Interesting. It's been on my list for a few years.
It's amazing. And it's short and I'm sad about it. But it's okay. Yeah.
You can always rewatch.
I don't like rewatching.
Rewatch?
I don't like rewatching.
As a matter of fact, I don't watch movies, I don't watch series. And I don't read books at the moment. Not many books. And I think that I'm not someone who consumes content. Or not that kind of content.
Okay.
It's very weird, because I can't relate when people start talking about TV series and movies, and I'm like, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's how I am.
I stopped watching TV series for a while.
Because I feel like I'm wasting my time.
It's not a waste of time, though.
Why
escape.
I mean,
because no.
Yeah, you're escaping something. Face your problems. That's the thing. Face your reality.
No.
Harsh truth.
Yes, I know, but I can't.
But like sometimes it actually depends on like what type of TV shows you're watching and like movies you're watching. I like to watch meaningful movies with emotions involved, because that helps me release out the emotions.
That's how?
It helps me release the emotions that I need to release. That's one thing. Second thing, you can watch educational movies. Learn about the sea, learn about the global warming.
Oh my god, documentaries. I love documentaries. I love educational movie. Did you make
education movies, she said.
Oh no. Documentaries. That's what I meant to say. I sound like an adult now. Ew.
Dude, documentaries are super awesome. I even get invested in documentaries.
I love documentaries.
Oh my god. The Amazon stuff.
I haven't watched any for a long time.
National Geographic.
Okay, so we used to get like
Najio Abu Dhabi. That's like my childhood.
Same.
Yes. Oh my god. So like usually when my dad so at some point my dad just stopped TV. He was like, we're not going to let them choose what we watch. We're going to choose what we watch. So he got the Chromecast by Google.
That's how I'm watching YouTube, by the way. Because I get to choose one.
Yeah. Do you know the Chromecast?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we just hook it up to like a phone, a laptop, anything. And then we watch anything we want. So what we usually do is watch documentaries, usually about the Amazon and stuff.
Oh, we would have those.
And then it would start like the whole family watching, and then it would end up just me and my brother sitting in front of the TV, like chairs. We would get physical chairs, actual chairs, and we sit in front of the TV, continue watching. And I'd be like 14, 15, and he's like 6.
The age difference.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like just watching like lions hunting, and I don't know.
Those would be
monkeys
the
in
best
the
movie
river.
nights. As in, you're watching documentaries with your family on a Thursday night after classes.
No,
Like
not
at
after
night.
classes, but
No,
like
not
at
after
night.
classes, but at night before going to sleep.
Yes.
Then you've got the halawiyat and the tea and all that.
No, we don't
This
do that.
brings back good memories.
Just parents like talking at the back, and me and my brother like just watching stuff.
Now, for us, we have it on, but it's mostly discussions.
Yeah, they
and then you
discuss,
have people
but
commenting
we're-
whatever is happening
we're
on the
watching.
TV. And
Dude, one documentary I 100% recommend, because I don't know why, but like it's why I'm studying what I'm studying, and it's why it's basically what's driving me. Chasing Coral.
Oh wait, I started that.
Chasing
Chasing
finished
Coral.
it.
Coral. It was on Netflix. It was amazing.
It's still on Netflix.
It's still on Netflix.
I'll try to check it out.
So basically, they found that the corals are white. They were like, why are the corals white? So the whole documentary is them basically just researching why the corals turned white and some other subtopics.
Interesting. I'll definitely check it out. I guess this comes down to the end of the episode. I hope to the listeners you enjoyed listening to this relatively very calm episode.
Not
where
only is
we-
it calm, it's very random.
It's random as well. As a matter of fact, we didn't have a script, so we wanted to go full in. And hopefully you've learned a lot of things between the various topics that we discussed. And until then, see you. Assalamu alaikum.
Bye bye.